But a Georgia native shares her story of helping save a little girl's life while 30,000 feet in the air. Here's Dallas Payton.
David, last month, Amanda Smith was on a flight from Fairbanks, Alaska to Seattle, Washington, and on to Chattanooga when there was an emergency. 30 minutes into a 2-hour flight from Fairbanks, Alaska to Seattle, Amanda Smith says she remembers hearing the flight attendant come over the intercom asking if there was any medical personnel on board.
And without hesitation, I undone my seatbelt and I reached up to hit my call button. And as I did, the lady sitting next to me also did. And I did not know her. She didn't know me. We just kind of looked at each other, did not say anything, but just had a mutual understanding of, okay, we're doing this together.
Moments later, the flight attendant motioned Smith and another passenger near the front of the plane. Smith says when they made it, there was a lifeless 6-year-old girl laying in her mother's arms.
Her lips were blue. Her skin was pale and gray, and she was cold to the touch. And I immediately said, we need to lay her down in the aisle now.
Smith and the other passenger checked for a pulse, but there was none. CPR was then started and an AED was asked for. After the AED didn't initiate a shock, Smith prepared to do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Smith was just inches away from the little girl's mouth before she moved.
The little girl's eye twitched. So at that point, I started rubbing her sternum and shaking her. And she opened her eyes, and immediately, the color came back in her lips. Her capillaries were responding in her fingernails.
Smith then told the flight attendant that the plane needed to land. Seconds later, the pilot announced an emergency landing back in Fairbanks. Oxygen was kept on the little girl until the plane landed and first responders came on board.
The update on Mia was they kept her in ICU for 2 days, and she was being treated for RSV, and she had low lung capacity, and they did not know it. They were an active duty military family heading to Japan, and that was the first leg of their flight.
Thank you for helping me yesterday.
Amanda says Mia and her family have made it to Japan and additional treatment continued. She also mentioned that she plans to reconnect with the other passenger who assisted her after the holidays. David?